So, anyway, everyone. So, got my boo-boo. I like my boo-boo still. Lots of boo-boos. Oh. But that's okay. If I write people, you're gonna have to just take it. Because everyone writes. People talk. People do whatever. And actually, if you're gonna be persistent about something, if you're gonna be something about something, to have drive, passion, and motivation, you're gonna have to go for what you want, and you're gonna have to take risks. And I'm not afraid to do that. I don't mind reinforcing myself with concrete. I don't mind my mind. Speaking about the mind. Who's in charge here? This is about cognitive neuroscience, about free will of the human mind. This author also wrote Human, and also, what was that one? The Ethical Brain. I haven't started reading it, I just checked it out today. But it obviously fascinated me. Want to read it. I wants to read it. Please. This is for people who really have, who don't really meditate, who don't really want to meditate, with no really desire to meditate. But this person is supposed to be one, is quoted on the back of the book by Robert Sapolsky, author of A Primate's Memoir, is supposed to be one of the founders of cognitive neuroscience. Is also its greatest synthesizer. You know what a synthesizer is? Which I'm pretty sure everyone does know. I mean, come on. Music, everybody. Music. So, this is a really interesting book for people who want to know more about, you know, your mind and your free will of your mind. Because don't let anything stop you. Don't let anything stop you. You know, your only barrier is you, so break your barriers of yourself. And I don't mean you need to break yourself in a bad way or anything like that, although sometimes that does happen, and you do learn more about yourself that way. But I mean, your potential. Unleash it. Another book I checked out is Buddha's Brain. And this is actually really interesting because it's supposed to be it's under self-help, but yet it's also the practical neuroscience of happiness, love, and wisdom. So for people who meditate also, and who also are interested in their mind and wanting to be happy, and want to know how their mind works, and also in meditation. Because Buddha was a normal person, but yet, how did Buddha become Buddha? You know, this is the question is asked in here, is presented in here. And as you can see, PhD, MD, MD, PhD. And these people are neuropsychologists and a meditation teacher. Wellspring Institute for Neuroscience and Contemplative Wisdom, and edits the Wise Brain Bulletin. Another one is a neurologist, and co-founder of the Wellspring Institute for Neuroscience and Contemplative Wisdom. The other one is an executive director of MindSight Institute, an associated clinic professor of psychiatry in the School of Medicine at the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA. And the other one is a co-founder at Insight Meditation Society in Bear, Michigan, and or Massachusetts, sorry, and founding teacher of Spirit Rock Meditation Center in Woodacre, California. So this is quite interesting. I saw this, I think, as a tweet from one of the Dharma people I follow, or meditation people I follow. But it's really interesting. It really talks about the self-transforming brain. You know, I mean, there's all these things that you can read that can say, you know, that things are presented at school. Let's think about it. What is taught at school are things that are, it's great. It's always sort of like a combination. It's great to learn. There are pros and cons, obviously, with public schooling and say homeschooling. Because right now, say, I'm learning things on my own, as I wish, what I wish. But yet I'm also reading things and doing things that are not necessarily on my own. You know, interacting in a community, you know, setting and that. Feeling, you know, getting feedback. And being responsible about it. And that's interesting because it's interactive. To be responsible with your education if you are to do things alone. Because if you just homeschool yourself in any way, you would have to be responsible and diligent about it. You cannot just be laxed. Not only that, but you cannot just focus on one subject. You have to focus on every subject. You have to focus on just, this is history, but it's, you know, something that's a bestseller. This is, you know, Albert Camus. Yeah. This is another one. This is just, and then, you know, poetry, you know, every aspect of everything. I mean, and then, you know, sciences, you know, and then, you know, you're going to do, you know, your own sort of sports, or, you know, and then, you know, philosophy, different sort, and there's all these different sort of aspects that you can approach. And it's just like, well, who am I to say anything? But Well, I'm me. And I will say as I please. But it doesn't need to be loudly. No. It does not. It does not need to be loudly. And when you do write, what is it that you do write? About what you learn. And what forms and formats. And of course there's math. And say, you may not be able to know yourself, but at least you can know the mechanics of your mind. Once you know more about your mind, can you expand it? Because this is just generalization. It is not a loose generalization, but say it's a foundation. Foundation. Like every book is a foundation. You know. Let's hold on to a book and feel something. But it's not so much on everything necessarily. It is on what you wish to do with what you have. That's truly it. The good. Because there is bad and ugly. And of course, there are so many different philosophies and thoughts. Why not explore them? Why not explore everything? If you don't want to, you don't have to. No one says anything about have to do anything. And in fact, that's the thing. You don't have to. And I understand that too. With you don't have to. Yet, you know, I'm not someone who's going to be quiet. But I'll post quotes I find interesting and everything. And like I said, not everything I write is going to be about me, of me, or for me. Because I just think it's kind of interesting what has been written because I'll find things and I'll say, this has been written because humanity is too loud, because I don't think anyone says that you can hear cries in space. No one can hear you scream. From up there and from down here, we can't hear anybody but ourselves. So much, there's always a void. Or there's always something for someone, somewhere, for everywhere. And to each their own. And we must learn to respect and love one another for that. It's to help. And to say that this is better than that. Not right at all. I think that's it.